Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan has high levels of biodiversity, but many wild animals still face threats. To raise awareness, thousands of people attended the 35th annual Walk for Wildlife in Taipei over the weekend. Sally Yansen has more.
野生动物正告急，野生动物正告急，犬猫有家不游荡，犬猫有家不游荡。
Holding banners, singing, and bringing furry friends along for the ride, crowds take to the city streets for ecological preservation. Taiwan is a highly biodiverse country, but many of its key species are endangered. These include Formosan black bears, green tree frogs, and Formosan flying foxes. Organised by conservation groups in Taiwan, the Walk for Wildlife has been held annually since 1989.
因为民众大部分都只知道说 栖地破坏或者是陷阱猎捕这一些对他们是很严重的威胁，但是大部分民众其实不知道，游荡犬猫在外也会对这些野生动物造成很严重的威胁。
Taiwan's Biodiversity Research Institute has found that the number of wild animals taken to rescue centres because of attacks by cats and dogs has tripled over the last 10 years. Earlier this year, the Agriculture Ministry launched a project to try to stop such attacks. But the government says there's still some way to go.
我不否认，我们可能还有人力上面、资源上面怎么样带更充足的部分。但我可以在这边跟大家承诺，从民进党团的角度，从我自己作为一个立法委员的角度来说，我们会来全力支持，从科学的角度来做管理。
Activists say that to protect wild animals, the public also needs to do their bit.
我们可以不分野共的，大家一起合作，来让所有的动物适得其所，让犬猫回归人类家庭，让野生动物少了一个来自于犬猫的危害。
The Walk for Wildlife in Taipei has been growing every year, showing a sea change in public opinion. Wildlife activists, conservationists, zoologists and concerned members of the public are marching in central Taipei to speak out for those with no voice, Taiwan's wild animals. They say endangered species like pangolins and leopard cats face growing threats like overdevelopment and domesticated animals. And with enough people supporting their cause, Taiwan's wild animals may stand a chance of survival. Alex Chen and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
While the rest of the world pumps out carbon emissions, it's the tiny Pacific nation of Tuvalu that's bearing the brunt. As sea levels rise, it's facing the question of survival. So now it's trying to create a backup nation. Louis Wai reports from Tuvalu's capital, Funafuti.
28-year-old construction manager Angela Tuvalu is constantly worried about the health of her daughters. They live in Tuvalu, one of the lowest-lying countries on Earth, and the road in front of their home is regularly flooded with dirty water, a result of seawater bubbling up through the porous ground.
Sometimes it goes right up, and then it floods inside the church. Sometimes it reaches in the house, and also the preschool, the kindergarten, yeah.
And there's little she can do to stop it. In the years to come, Tuvalu and her family could lose not just their house and their neighbourhood, but their entire country. Tuvalu, with a population of less than 12,000, is one of the world's smallest nations, just 26 square kilometres across its 9 atolls, and waves are eroding its coast.
This concrete base of a World War II anti-aircraft gun used to stand on land. Now it's about 20 metres from shore, showing how sea levels have already risen. Scientists estimate that the whole of Tuvalu could be submerged by the end of the century. And so the government is trying to address that by creating a digital copy of the country, meaning it would be the first nation to exist in the metaverse.
Tuvalu has already used land survey data and drone footage to create a virtual copy of its smallest island. And despite difficulties with internet connectivity, it now wants to bring it to digital life.
We're looking at not just recording, digitizing our culture and our history, but presenting it in a way that is attractive and it's appealing to people. And this is where we want to use platforms like the metaverse, for example, to be able to recreate both a virtual copy of the physical territory, but also uploading artifacts, people in that space telling stories and even teaching the language.
Coffey says it's the responsibility of the government to prepare for a worst-case scenario. And by migrating into cyberspace, Tuvalu will still be able to offer its people a shared existence, even if they have to abandon their territory. But the government is also reclaiming land, and some here believe that should be the focus rather than a digital future.
We have to physically do something more concrete to maintain Tuvalu on the map in a way of looking at developments of raising up Tuvalu instead of fully relying on digital wall.
Worried about climate change, many Tuvaluans are already emigrating, which, for mother of three Tuvalu, underscores the need for a backup digital nation.
If everyone moves out of this island, if it's gone, at least we have our culture and identities to carry with us. So when we go, we not only just go and live in strange islands or strange countries, but at least we have an area of our own that looks exactly like home, and we practice everything that we have learned here and we take it with us.
It's Tuvalu's National Day, and people are recording what they can of the festivities. A heritage passed down through songs and dance, now being preserved in digital memory. So Tuvaluans can hold on to their shared identity as they strive to exist against the rising seas. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
A Taiwanese artist has taken the top prize at the 6th Li Bao International Sculpture Biennial Awards in Taipei. Taiwan Sculpture Waves made a big splash at the competition, beating out 138 entries from 25 countries. It took Dai over a year to complete the work, which is made of recycled plastic. Dai says she wanted it to show that changes in human behavior are needed to change the world. Italian artist Celine Frassini took second place, with artists from Romania and Turkey sharing bronze. Lion and dragon dances are familiar sights across the Chinese-speaking world, and here in Taiwan, there's a martial artist who also makes the heads used in these traditional dances. Bryn Thomas has his story.
This craftsman in central Taiwan's Nantou County marches to the beat of his own drum. He teaches kids martial arts and drumming, and is one of the last people in the area that knows how to make heads for traditional lion dances the old-fashioned way, out of paper mache. It's a dying art, and although much lighter than modern masks, paper mache masks are more fragile, and most performers have moved on to newer materials. But that didn't stop Master Zhang Jiafang from spending a year learning the craft. He thinks his work helps preserve local traditions.
这种技艺在我们竹山的话，现在已经很少了，可能几乎没有了。那因为我想说，这种技艺不能让它失传，所以说我才会去寻找这些东西。
He's now passing on what he knows to local youth, hoping to help preserve this very old skill set. Ethan Pan and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out the Dog Wing costume contest in Peru. I'm Ethan. Take care, and I'll see you next time.